want to say elephant because I never would eat elephant. I like elephants, but I don't know, a chocolate cake, one bite at a time. And then you're like, wait, how did I eat the whole cake? Maybe that's just me. Okay, so we are in parentheses. Ugh. Okay. I've noticed that by Zoom has changed their light sensitivity settings, so now the mirror seems like it's dark because it's trying to focus on me being bright. It's very strange. So I've tried upping my lighting and I've tried moving some things around. So hopefully you guys can see me okay. I feel like the mirror is not even helpful anymore in Zoom classes. When I'm filming, it seems helpful, but anyway. Okay, so we open out here. So it looks like it's going to be something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're balancing on 5, 6, 7, 8. So something, I think it's something like that. But the way that it's going to go is we're coming down and up, and you're hitting, you're not all the way there by side stage, you're all the way there by up stage in the eye. Then you're blinking back to the front, well, back to the corner, so that we're passing the front on 5, 6, 7, 8, and then it's going to come over 2, 3, 4, 5 is that rotation. Push up 6, 7, 8. You're going to come over 2, 3, 4, 5 on the head. 6, 7, 8. Roughly to the front. So let me 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Does that help at all? I mean, I'm going to give you that video, so that's going to help more than me just doing it. But in the music, there's sounds. So it's like we're coming around, and as soon as we're not even all the way upstage, we're like upstage corner, all about to turn to the upstage, that's when the blink starts. So we don't hang out at the corners or at the flats. We start transitions at the corners. So we start the blink upstage, we're passing through mid-side stage so that we're starting the aperture as we come to the front. Then we're coming over side stage, rotating and pressing up stage, jumping over side stage so that you're already touching your head on 5, 6, 7, 8. Then the music changes again and we're releasing. The goal is to pinch by side stage so you can start your thread up stage. Then you're going to come on side stage and then come over the handle toward the front. Then you're going to come across side stage, come off-ish up stage so that you're lowering by side stage and delivering to your hand by the front.
So let's do that again. So it's turn to the eye and blink. And aperture is 5, 6, 7, 8. I started that too soon, I'm sorry. And then down, past side stage, rotate up stage. Jump over side stage, head balance as you come to the front. So you're already touching your head. But you don't touch your head, like you don't just come up and put it on your head. We come up, my swords are backwards. My arms are so tired because I was practicing this earlier today, trying to remember it, because I haven't had a chance to dance it until, well, Friday we ran it one time, but up, jump over, then lower. And then we want to be balancing by the front so that we can let go by the side and pinch by upstage so that we can start threading upstage. Thread onto the handle as you come back to the front. So your sword is turning into your arm. It makes it easier. And then you're going to slide as you're coming side stage, but we don't really start to come off till we come from side stage to upstage. Then we come off the handle upstage so that you can lower side stage and deliver back to the front. And in the music, let's do it with the music again. How do I do that? Well, I guess I'll just play it with the dub over and you'll hear me counting. Because I know how it goes with the music, I just don't have the counts memorized. So let's try it, see how it goes. You never know until you try, right? This is the fountain.
5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1.
Oh yeah, it's this part.
5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
A little faster than I was doing the demo. But in the music, there's like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like, bing, 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 boom, bing, 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 bing. And then it changes, the phrasing changes when we're here. Voix, voix, voix. Like there's sounds that are what I'm responding to. Which, yay for responding to sounds, but I promise I will get the counts for you counters so that we can hear the sounds the same way. Was that helpful at all, having the count overs play while we did it?
Actually, I think it would be helpful if you sing along with it with the bing, 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 bing in your head, because like I'm hearing the same sounds. I'm just not sure where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
It totally makes sense. And it's one of those things where we're doing a hard thing and trying to do it together. And so doing it consistently because it's a hard thing is a little trickier than when it's an easier thing. But yeah, totally.
Or like even if you were to like
Sing
call out.
along, like make up the dance song.
Kind of, yeah, you know, like we do. So it's like, you know, bing, 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 blink,
Yeah.
bing, bing, aperture. You know, like
Close, over, and open. Yeah, I can try. Let's see how it goes. I love it. Okay, now I gotta find that part in the song though. Turn to upstage, blink, close, over, flip, press, pass, balance, release, thread, on, and thread, on, over, off, thread, off, and deliver. Toss. Stop, stop, stop. Did that help? Yeah? Do you like my song? Yay! Let's do it again. And if you think about like where you are in space, like once you get to where the thread through doesn't freak you out, because it just takes practice, we're moving at a place, moving at a place, moving at a place. Does that make sense? Like we're not holding any like power poses, but we're hitting the pinnacles kind of at the walls, if that helps. Jess?
So we're really, instead of thinking front, side, back, it's like front corner, back corner.
Well, because the action is happening at the corners and
Okay.
you're in the shapes at the walls. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I mean, we're moving the whole time, but like the pretty parts are more to the walls, and the on and off and all of that is happening more toward the corners. But let's do it again, and I'll try saying it again. Layla, do you have a question? Okay. Thank you, dancers. You're doing great. Action. Sorry. Turn to the eye, blink to the front, close, over, rotate, press, jump, over, head, balance, release, pinch, thread, on, slide, thread, off, and turn. Toss, up, rotate, slide, up, rotate, slide, lift, slice, and turn, and slice, and turn, and slice, and change, turn. Surprise, we went a little more. How did that feel? How did the thread through turn feel? Is that making a little bit more sense? Yeah, you guys want to do it one more time? Cool. All right, so get ready for the point first and over, because that's this fall out. Turn to the eye, blink, close, over, rotate, chance? Can I watch you guys do it? Maybe. I think I can watch you do it. I think you're going to be great. All right, ready? From the whoosh, wah, wah. You got to make those sounds. Whoosh, wah, wah. All right. Turn to the eye, blink, close, over, rotate, press, jump, over, head, balance. Release, pinch, thread, on, slide, thread off to your hand. Toss, present, rotate, drop, present, rotate, drop. Yeah, ish. How's that feel? That looked pretty good. Cool. Well, the next thing, any other questions about that? Because the next part is actually one of the things I wanted to talk about. So I'm like, ooh, wow, we're here. Erin, do you have a question? Oh, water. Okay, yeah, make sure you're drinking water. Okay, cool. So, from that place, when we come down into the right hand, we're coming off of that from side stage to front. So you should be coming down, deliver, toss, right? And I know I'm doing it backwards because I'm doing it correctly. And then when you come up, the fingers are doing, from the fingertips going forward, they're gonna go out, back, in, tip, slide, up, out, back, in, the sword keeps going for a quarter turn, tip, slide, and then this arm comes up. And then I'll do it backwards now. So your right is gonna go first, and we're gonna do an Atlantean slice. We're not gonna do a full flourish, and up. And then when you open, the swords aren't flopping out here when you turn. So make sure when you're in this all-seeing eye position, I'm resting my flats on my arms. So my succubus grip is really loose. And remember, please try not to split your handles. Keep your index finger along the handles. It's gonna give your wrist a lot more freedom, and it looks a lot prettier in pictures. I'm seeing all these pictures that are old and some people who aren't training with me but are using grips, and it looks like your hand is weird. So just, it's kind of like AI, like how there's like weird fingers. Like we want to be powerful purpose of presentation, so just be aware of, do what you decide to do on purpose, but just make sure you're doing it on purpose. But when we slice down and come up, I'm resting my sword on my forearm for that turn. So my swords aren't like wee in space as I'm turning. So you're making like it's like cocoon, but we're in succubus, we're higher. So it's not out here. It's really like position 5, but with our swords in our hands. So that when you turn, the swords are supported. Turn. Slice. Supported. And my arms aren't straight out. Like, can you see how they're kind of in more at the top? So we're really trying to balance the handle over the point. So I'm not more points in toward my chest and handles out wide. I'm trying to have the points and the handles along the same line so that the curvature of my swords is really highlighting my chest and my face. Does that make sense? and then your arms fall off because they're tired. But we're in closer than I think people think. Like it feels like we're out here. This is harder. So come in closer, rest your blades on your elbows or your forearms. And my elbows are in front of my side seams. I wish I had $1 every time I said that. My elbows are in front of my side seams. So that you're making, yeah, Jess, that looks really beautiful. So you're making kind of this I shape around your body with your swords and your arms. Does that make sense? And my arms are not straight, but they're not like super bent. They're just rounded, literally to kind of match the curvature of my swords. Sheree, you have a question? No? Okay. Does that make sense, everybody? So let's do it. All-seeing eye. Show me your eyes. And then if you put your finger along the handle, it might free up your wrists a little bit. Good, then sweep down. And then sneak turn. And sweep down. And sneak turn. Yeah, everybody bring your elbows forward a little bit and up a little bit. Yeah. And then take a break. Yeah, so think about that. So I think sometimes we want to be back here, and this is the opposite of what we want. So we want to have the elbows more forward so we have more range, aesthetically pleasing, and to put less pressure on our actual like shoulders. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay, cool. There was another turn. Oh, and to come into that, so from here, I'm rotating my palm out as I come down. So I'm not coming all the way through Maleficent, but I'm rotating my palm out so that I can follow the curvature of my sword for that sweeping slice. And then I'm rotating my palm back to the front before the turn. And then I'm rotating my palm out, yeah, and up, and then back to the front, and then turn. So there's a little kind of cascade there where it's like sweep, sword, body, sweep, sword, body. Like the energy of that rotation kind of travels into your body for that sneak turn. Does that make sense? Now that your arms are like, I hate this dance. Maybe it's just mine. Yeah, Katara, that looks really pretty. And then hopefully you feel like you have more control too, because we're not trying to muscle this action. Like you can tell the difference when it's like, ugh, like you're trying to like force the sword. What we want to do is follow the handle and then let the blade just follow the handle. Yeah. And then open and then follow. We're trying to move the handle so that we're showing off. Look at my beautiful sword. Look at my beautiful sword. Does that make sense? Versus like, I mean, we could be like, it's pirates like for me, and that's cool, but not what this dance is necessarily about in that way. Yeah. Cool. And then the other one I wanted to talk about was cocoon. So when we are doing, oh, and I wanted to talk about that too. Okay, so pretend we just did the slice. So we just got out of Klingon, whether you went high or whether you went low. Then we're gonna rotate the palms forward, open, and come out. This is a on purpose pose. So everybody come into Klingon for a second, please. So we're coming, and for the boho dancers who are doing the high escape, you can, but you gotta meet us at the bottom. So we're gonna come down, and we release on 5. And then we rotate, crossing, open, I look up, and then I look forward, fall out. And then we come across, and it's right first. Sweep, sweep, around, fall and recover, under, quip, join. And this needs to be level. So it's not, like in the video, I'm seeing a lot of different things happening. So cocoon is level. So let's talk about that part again. So from our release chow, we reverse, cross, open. So you're crossing kind of at the wrists to open, look, and then across, slice, across, slice. This right arm is going to go all the way around for fall and recover. This left arm is going to come up, and the right arm is going to come under with that quip and stack right inside. Yeah, let's do that again. So from the release down, together, open, this is powerful, look. Right comes in, and I scoop here, scoop right, scoop left, around, I'm not sure what I'm doing with my hip there because now I'm thinking about it, across, quip, stack, under, and stack with symmetry. Yes, that's so much better. Yeah. And then we have the turn that's slow and quick. Open left, look left. I do a little sink. Open right, look right. Maybe sink, look forward. Yeah. And then flip. I think that's there. Maybe. And then wax off right. Wax off left. I've been playing with this. I think wax off right. From here. Right hook, left hook. I'm trying to decide if I like 3 or just 2 wax offs there. So right, left, right, join, or I think we've just been doing right, left, join, open, out, grip change, points first, over, up. Yes, good. And then again, try to be as level as you can for that parenthesis so that then when we start our turn, upstage, blink, and close. And over, rotate, press, in front, head, balance. Let go, pinch, thread on, slide, thread off, hand balance, and toss. And then on your toss, try to, I'm trying to remember, like, it's not, your hand isn't just like here. Like, it's just, you're just nodding your chin and let it come into your hand. Like, you're not throwing it with your head. You're just nodding your chin. Does that make sense? I think sometimes we overthink it because we want to be like, ugh, but you don't need to do that.
Bella, I've noticed you're taking like the teeniest little baby step back with one foot to kind of get out of the way of the sword. Is that?
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I know I travel, and I meant to say that too, actually, Jess, I'm glad you asked, because when we do this in the other dance, I step back. So, dun, 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 dun. Yes, I do step back. Lorian, question? Nope, you're good, okay. I want to watch you all, because the other thing I remember now, because like I said, I was trying to watch the videos and then put it on the gallery view so I could see what's happening, so I don't know any particular person's like sticky spots, but also when we do this part, if your back shoulder doesn't want you to come low, it's okay, but as you're turning, it's more about if you can get here. It's not about, like, my back shoulder doesn't go flat either, because I know last week we talked about lifting up, but because I'm turning, I can go lower. Does that make sense? So like if you're at Eye of the Storm facing the side, you're turning toward the high sword. Because I'm turning, I can get more level. And then I rotate, and then we want to try to press up without this looking rickety. Does that make sense? So we're coming down, we're turning into that back arm, then rotating, and then coming up, and then the back sword has to come over the front sword, and then we head balance as we come into a balanced eye, essentially. Does that make sense at all? Yeah. So just as you close into aperture, it's not like force this back. It's the mechanics are you're lowering as you turn so that you're as low as possible when you're side to side. Then, and I'm even resting on my forearm, so when I rotate, my sword is on my forearm, so that when I push up, I have more stability. But I'm dancing with Cassis, so I don't know if arm length and sword length is affected by that. But the closer you can keep your swords to your body, and the more you can work with the mechanics of your shoulder, I think that'll help. Can I watch you all do from aperture down and turn so I can see? Because that was something, like I said, I was trying to watch the old videos earlier today to look, and then I watched everybody who turned in videos too, but yeah. Ready? From Eye of the Storm? Yeah, so from aperture. Well, if you want to start from the eye to get in the right place, that's cool. Let's start from here, because I already was like, what the fuck, Bella? Okay, turning into the eye, blinking as we go toward the front, close into aperture, overturn, rotate, press, and go over as you come back, and head balance in the eye, and let go, and thread on as you come to the front, and slide behind the blade to the side, thread off upstage, thread off side stage, and deliver to your hand, back to the front, and toss, and catch. Yeah, how did that feel? Did that help at all? I can't watch everybody at once. But just the idea of, as you're coming toward that arm, if you can come to this position where your hands are at your shoulders, you can do that shape. Because your elbows aren't behind your back there. This one's just higher. Does that make sense? A little bit, okay. Any questions about that? Besides, we're gonna do it like 5 times. I wanted to say 50, but we're not really gonna do it 50 times. Okay, cool. Another part I wanted to talk about was the quillion hook, the crossbody quillion hook before the turning standard and succubus. So it's like a comet lunar hybrid. I'm seeing a lot of muscled grip changes. Muscled grip changes are harder because you're not trusting gravity and trusting your sword. So our goal is to have our grip changes be as effortless as possible, but it takes getting that dexterity. But we want to try to work with gravity and with our swords. So when we're doing that grip change, and we've just come, we're down again. You're coming, wait, what are we doing? La, 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 la. We're in succubus, that's why. So we do Atlantean, right? So we have right, left, right, we come to wall plane, and then we're in this, I think it's called Winona. I'm trying to remember the power poses, and I just don't remember power poses right now. My memory has just been a mess. But anyway, so as we're coming through that Atlantean, we're coming across to this shape, then all you're doing is letting go with the fingers and lifting your elbow. And that's going to bring you into standard, so then you can follow. So when you're in succubus here, and we just did Atlantean, let go, lift your elbow, pull out, follow. Then let go, close. Does that make sense? Let's come back into succubus. So from right, left, right. Yeah. So if you use gravity here coming across the body, it's just like you're gonna do this shape, but you're gonna keep going up. And that sweep, it's still a sweeping grip change, just like if we were doing our sweep this way, but because you're across the body, it changes the dynamic, just like if we're spinning poi. So we're coming from succubus to standard because the elbow is lifting up and the fingers can go to the other side of the handle. Then this arm pulls out first. We want to try to have this in opposition so they're not too close together. So this hand goes and this hand follows all the way around like a yin yang. And then this hand is going to do the same thing as it comes down. So instead of this kind of grip change, lower your arm so that you can deliver the sword to yourself. And this one goes behind. Does that make sense to everybody? And then I was talking about just keeping this on one side so we can slice down. Yeah. But does that make sense how, so if we're doing a regular succubus or standard to succubus, succubus to standard sweep. So if I'm in low position like Astrid and I'm sweeping up, I'm gonna soften my grip as I come to mid. Then I'm gonna let go as I lift up to high, but I never stop. There's no stop so that I can bully the sword. I'm trusting the sword to move through space, and I'm getting comfortable using that webbing for that transition. So I can go from low to high, standard to succubus, and from high to low, succubus to standard, and low to high, standard to succubus, and high to low, succubus to standard. And then this is another instance where we never have our elbows behind our back. So if you find yourself wanting to bring your elbow back, that's gonna make it harder to do. So my elbow is staying in front of my side seam the whole time, and I'm never locking my elbow. It's always rounded. And if you don't have your handles wrapped, this can help. It can help if you wrap your handles if your sword is really wobbly. And then let's do it at the same time. Up, release, deliver, down, release. This is where you're gonna lift your elbows so you can get it back into a good standard. Good, and then up. Remember to breathe, and down. Yeah, that already looks so much better. Good, one more time, please. I love ironing out moves, yay. And back down. Awesome, how's that feel? Does that feel okay? Cool. The very beginning, Klingon. When we turn, try to turn on your own pizza. So there's a lot of like kind of wobbly turns happening, including me. I'm a wobbler these days and I'm super aware of it. But if we all think about battening down the hatches, we can spin more like a barber pole or a top versus a weeble wobble. Does that make sense? So when we turn the first time, I'm gonna turn toward the mirror this time. We're gonna go around, flat. So I'm coming into this shape. Then and this shape is like Calliope or like Persephone at the same time. Then I'm gonna come down into Cleo all the way. Then I'm gonna come up to that same shape on the other side. Then I'm gonna rotate and slice to a low position. Then it's a nice slow blood red sky. Back to new moon. Then we're gonna tip across the body and then come all the way down to Cleo as you come up stage, and then you're up, ready to slice down the right as you come side stage. So the point is, you wanna remember to, in that turn, end, around, these are all clear shapes. And I'm probably turning the wrong way. Tip, Cleo, prep. And I was actually looking at, let's see if I can help with this. La, 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 la. These are all power poses, in case you were wondering. There's a lot. But I had some Klingon. Kendra just printed the double swords for me. And I didn't even get to use them in the double sword weekend. But the across combination of Cleo and Calliope, of Calliope and Persephone is called Danica. Full moon position is called Eminence. New moon position is called Isabel. And slash prep is called Pris. So there's a couple power poses. Is that Danica? Danica, Eminence, and Pris is what the slash prep one. So not a super big deal, and I'm not expecting you to remember, but just remember to hit those shapes. That's why the power poses are named, is so we don't pass through them lazily, if that makes sense. We want that purposeful presentation. So I will try to use those few names. If I've been not using power poses because I don't want to say the wrong ones and then have your muscle memory be like, oh, that's called this. And I'm like, yeah, I said the wrong word. Again, I don't trust myself right now. There's too many tabs in my brain open. And so I'm trying to give you the tools that are correct. Thanks, Layla. So from that Klingon part, we're in Pris to start with. Pris is from Blade Runner. And we turn all the way to Danica. Then we lower behind and up to Danica on the other side. Then we rotate down through Isabel, up through Pris, up to Eminence, down through Pris, down to Isabel, across. This is a different shape that I don't have the name for right this second. And then into, so we're coming to this like cross body, so that when we step in, the point is already behind your body to come up for Cleo. And then we come into Pris on the side. Then we slash across, prepare, and then up and over, facing front as we're on wall plane, down, slash, across, prepare, up to that eminence as you turn to the front, and then rotate down, and you can step back here too, boom, cross, open, look, right, across, left, across, right, around, left, up, right, under. Right foot a little sassy, fast to the front. Peel out or slice out right, slice out left, look. I think that's the flip. Wax off, come up.
I hate to tell you this, but you're skipping a whole part.
Okay, I thought so. This is where I need the music.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I still don't know. I still don't know this dance well enough to do that. So let's just do it with the music. But are the pieces making sense for clarity, like to kind of polish up angles and things? Because the more you're precise with your angles and your grips, the easier it is. It's not even just about like, it looks better. It actually is easier. Like the more you trust yourself and you get used to the mechanics of it, the more it actually is more effortless. And I promise that because that's why it looks effortless, because you get better at trusting gravity to work with gravity versus when we're like nervous about the grip change and then we're kind of fighting gravity. It's kind of like water. Like if you've ever been in like the ocean, like the more you fight it, the more you're gonna get fucked. But if you trust it, like you'll figure out the flow. Does that make sense? I don't know. Maybe that's crazy words, but maybe crazy words make sense. I don't know. Let's get into Klingon, please. I'm going to chapter this because I know that that's good. with the hope that it's a good one, but you know, just in case. All right, ready?